Hello and welcome to a playthrough of Lobotomy Corporation. This game contains some disturbing content. More information will be linked in the description. Viewer discretion is advised, and I will be shutting up until we get to the first gameplay section. Commentary is also in post. So welcome to day one, and on this day there isn't really too much going on, so I'm going to keep it brief. You can hire 2 more employees, which I generally recommend trying to fill up all of your departments and teams at this point, but, well, it doesn't matter too much on this day. So over here we have the secular-shaped skull friend, who will be our first abnormality and the general tutorial for the day. Employees have 4 main stats, which are called virtues, and each of these virtues corresponds to a different work type. Abnormalities respond in different ways to different work types, and the success rate also varies with the stats of the employee that you send to go work with the abnormality. The work results also have a varying effect, which can trigger the abilities of an abnormality or cause them to breach. The skull here can't really breach, and instead its ability is entirely beneficial. A good work result will restore the sanity of your employees, and a perfect work result will restore even more of it. So really not much of a threat or a problem, and instead really just kind of an outright benefit. Technically it does do white damage, which reduces an employee's sanity if they take too much of it when you fail, which you can identify by red boxes on the side of the containment unit. However, realistically, you kind of have to get incredibly awful luck for even a newly recruited employee to panic from interacting with it. If they do panic though, well, I don't think it would be that much of an issue. I'm pretty sure even the clerks at this point deal with a single panicking agent if you got the worst result possible, and, well, this day is just incredibly safe. When you work with an abnormality, you generate energy boxes which you complete the day, and you can spend those energy boxes to unlock information about the abnormality, as well as to get weapons and armor themed after someone. In this case, this introduces your first white damage weapon, which is useful because that lets you calm down a panicked employee instead of killing them, and the armor is just overall better on every single damage type compared to the standard uniform that your employees come with. Overall, there isn't really too much to say on this day, aside from that the meter beneath the energy in the upper corner, that indicates how long until you reach a meltdown or an ordeal. When a meltdown occurs, you will get an audio cue, which will tell you that it's happening, and a 60-second timer will start counting down on some of the containment units. If it hits 0 without you sending someone to resolve it, I think it takes away a chunk of your energy and decreases their countdown if they have an individual one. In this case, there really isn't much urgency at all with responding to it. On later days, this can be much more of a problem, but right now it's not really much of anything to be concerned with. Ordeals get introduced later, so we'll cover them then. And at this point, I'm essentially just attempting to grind up our employees' stats a bit, which is a waste of time at this point, but I'm just going to edit it out. It was something I probably really shouldn't have bothered doing, and that's it. So see you on the other side. The end of the day screen tells you about how well you've done, and also informs you of the stat increases your employees may or may not have gotten, which is really important to keep track of as you get further and further into the game, but right now there's nothing really interesting to say. At the end of the day, you get to choose from 3 new abnormalities to add to your facility, and since I've played this game before and I can recognize most of them based off of the cryptic quotes at the bottom, what I'm going to do is I am going to pick the leftmost unknown abnormality every time, no matter what it is. anyways, here you get introduced to research, which you can do whenever you finish a mission for a given area, and these give upgrades that are permanent and pretty helpful. There isn't really too much I have to say here as advice, aside from attempting to finish missions as soon as possible whenever you can, because the upgrades are incredibly helpful. Another thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and equip some of the weapons and suits that we've gotten because, well, they're sort of upgrades, though it really still shouldn't matter for this day if my memory on what the second abnormality is correct. You will also hire a fourth employee, and I don't really have too much else to say, and I'll see you in the next part.